Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Capricorn in May 2019. What is going on, Capricorn? How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. Alright, guys, that's your main spread there. Shuffled off camera to save time. I'll shuffle now for the outcome and the overall energy. Once all the cards are out and they're lying face up, that is when the reading begins. If you want to jump ahead, there will be a timestamp in the description box below. Go ahead and click it. If you want a personal reading with me, that information is down in the description box as well. Right now, the price for that is $25 for the most in-depth reading that I do. 6 cards, clarifiers, oracle cards, all that good stuff. And that's $25 right now. But in June, that price will go up. So if you've been thinking about getting a reading with me, been like, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't, or you've been waiting, you've been, saving it for a rainy day, and that's interesting because it's raining like cats and dogs outside of my house right now. So. But if you've been wanting to do it and you kind of put it off, I would suggest doing it now because, like I said, the price for the most in-depth reading that I do will be going up in June, okay? So in the sake of saving you money, book ASAP, all right? Capricorn, let's go ahead and get you guys an outcome from May, all right? Outcorn? Oh, tongue-tied today. Outcome for Capricorn, please, in May 2019. Please show me Capricorn's outcome in May 2019. Please show me. Whoa. Directly under me? Yep. Okay, so 1 second. I gotta move things around. 1 second. Alright, guys, so you had this card come, but it came in a sidewind position, so let's go ahead and turn it around and see which way it's supposed to go for you. Okay, thank you. Alright, and the bottom of the deck is the overall energy. And let's flip everything and see what's going on for you. Alright, some repeating players here, I see. Okay, how's that look? Pretty good, Jay. You're getting pretty good at this. I've been actually pretty good at it the entire time. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, that's... I'm going to have a break after you guys. I'm going to have a break. Alright, please show me Capricorn in May 2019. Please show me Capricorn in May 2019. Please show me. Alright, cool. Thank you. Whew. Alright, Capricorn, coming into May, you come in with the Strength card. Nice. These are a kind of card for Leo, so there might be a Leo in your midst who is significant to you, but does not have to be. Somebody's a boss. You're feeling pretty confident, Capricorn, or if you're not feeling confident, at least you're showing that side of yourself, or you're wearing that outfit or that mask very well. Yeah, like some of you are like really projecting this idea or this image of yourself out into the world. So some of you might be stepping out after a long hiatus or feeling, withdrawn, feeling depressed or bogged down, whatever. There's like a turnaround feeling that I'm getting here, like a turnaround in your attitude, a turnaround in your emotions, how you view the world, how you want the world to view you, the effort that you put into yourself. Like some of you, maybe while you were withdrawn, you weren't really, pampering yourself, weren't really taking care of yourself. Maybe some of you put on the LBs, right? Maybe some of you, were on a very strict or very healthy diet, right? And now you've been like having pizza every other day. You're ordering in food instead of cooking your meals, stuff like that. But again, that's what you were doing. I feel like, again, there's like a massive turnaround for you, Capricorn. And if it's not true to form, if it's not 100% legit, you are at least projecting that idea. So a lot of you might be practicing, fake it till you make it kind of stuff. If I say I'm fine, if I say I feel good, then it just will eventually be that way. Which you know, to a certain extent has its merits, has its kind of validity. And I think, ironically, thank you. I always put it down and then I pick it back up. Ironically, I think, like, for those where this isn't your full-time experience, where this isn't how you actually feel, and you're kind of, again, projecting that and trying to portray that, is a lot of that is coming from you need that mask, or you need that perception, because you're kind of trying to find or create your own inspiration, or become your own example. There we go. Become your own example of integrity and dignity, and, you know, having wherewithal, having the tenacity and or the capabilities of fighting a good fight and living to see another day. Like, a lot of you have come out of, or are just coming out of, a very dark place, a very challenging place in your life. And it really, you know, took a toll on you. You know, you went a full 9 rounds with like a heavyweight champion, and you're showing some bruising, you know what I mean? So, and instead of wanting to weep or wallow or feel self-pity for having been through trying times, or being put to your paces and being, you know, in some cases, not total defeat, but partial defeat, or like something like that, you don't want to show that side of yourself. You want to come back, or like, the way they're giving it to me is like, you want to be your own inspiration. So if strong people, if people with tenacity, if people with a very prideful, not egotistical, but prideful, like, again, pride in their appearance, take care of themselves. If you're inspired by people that like that, say, for just as an example, on your Instagram, you have like a lot of fitness models, or people that inspire you to get up and run that 5 miles in the morning. You know, you look at, they've got like all in their Instagram, they've got like abs for days and all that kind of shit. You want to become that. Not like you want to become them, you want to become the inspiration to yourself. It's kind of weird that in this visual that they're showing me, you're scrolling through Instagram and you see your own photos where you're looking good, you're eating healthy, you're running up and down stairs, you're tackling a deadlift, all that kind of stuff. And the person viewing that is you. It's weird. It's like this inspiration inception kind of thing that you have going on there. And it is because something before now really took the fight out of you, really took the bite and the ferocity and the tenacity just straight out of your life. And so now you're in a position, or you're in the mindset, more than a position, I think you're in the mindset more than actual like circumstances. Because I think for some of you, those circumstances, whatever they are, a job, a person, a living situation, are still very much a part of your life. You know, for some of you, this is a connection with a person that is tentative or tumultuous. It's in and out. It goes up and down. It's very like trying, to say the least. And because that element in your life is still there, the person, the situation, the circumstance, you want this for yourself. Like, you want to make yourself your own inspiration. You want to be the cheerleader for yourself. And maybe that's it. Maybe the person or the situation that you find yourself involved with doesn't do much to perk you up, doesn't do much to uplift you, doesn't do much to either support you or give you validation, to you know what I mean? So you're filling a void with your own projected self. Okay? I hope that makes sense. So that's where we are. Wow. Yeah, because yes, okay. So the weakness, and I don't think I called it a weakness previously, but some of you might be viewing it that way, and that might be how it feels. So the weakness, quote unquote, because I don't like using that word. I think it's kind of insulting sometimes. Seven of Wands in reverse. I'll show you this upright. So as you can see, this female character there is sort of decked out like a Xena warrior princess almost, and she's fighting a good fight. But yours came in reverse. So above you, above your starting position, aka in your consciousness, in your mind, in your foresight, or yeah, in your foresight, sure, is this defeatist attitude. Again, back to what I said earlier about you going toe-to-toe with a boxer. I don't think you feel defeated. I don't think you're, like if you literally went and fought somebody, a heavyweight champion, and you're still standing at the end of 9 rounds, did you really lose? You know what I mean? So, and some of those contests, sometimes it's a draw. So that's what I'm feeling. It's like you were never down and out. You were never, TKO. There's no KO. There's no TKO here. Okay. But you do feel defeatist, meaning your patience, your ability to stick it out, your ability to go one more round, to have one more, push is really waning. Some of you may have thrown in the towel, or you're ready to. And that might be what this strength card is combating. Like you might oscillate, you might go back and forth between, you know what, let me just call it quits here. Let me just forget this whole thing, or let me walk away. Let me get rid of this. Let me just put that to bed. And another part of you is just like, no, we're stronger than that. We're smarter than that. We have more this, that, and the other than that. There's like, I can do it. There's a, I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. And this is the, I can't do it. I don't want to do it. I'm tired of doing it sort of thing. Now, again, I still feel the strength card is here, again, as like a guiding light, sort of, as like a North Star kind of energy. Like, follow the path of the strength card. Follow the path of your inspiration. Follow the path of whatever. And it's going to turn this lack of fight, that lack of energy to fight, and it's going to remove that lack and replace it with resources, or replace it with ability and capability, okay? That's a tricky area for you. Because, again, I think a lot of you want to put this down, you want to put this thing to bed, give up, walk away, whatever. But something in you, like a fighter spirit, like Rocky, as long as Sylvester Stallone is alive, that franchise is going to live on. Granted, now it's turned into the Creed franchise, but there he is up on the screen, standing next to Michael B. Jordan. Hey, kid, you just got it. And it's just like, sir, are you not retired? Like, just in the movie franchise. But like that persistence, that ability to still show up and put up a fight, or at least be a beacon or some type of example that shows people how to fight, that's what you want, Capricorn. And part of you is just a little fatigued. A part of you is just like, you know what, we could just wrap this up and go home. Why are we still doing this? So you might be having that, like some of you might be having the question, is it worth the fight? Is it worth all of this agony? Or is it worth all of this headache to continue to do this? You know what I mean? So, well, and here it is. For some of you, we're talking love. Okay? For some of you, we're talking love. Yeah. Thank you. Come here, you. Thank you. All right. So, the Lover's card. Major Arcana for Gemini. You might have a Gemini in your life who's significant, but don't have to be. But this is the union between two souls. If you want to think of it as soulmates, you can, but that's, let me tell you, for most of you, this is not a soulmate thing. It's just a connection thing. But for those who want to, be confirmed, if you think it's a soulmate, fine. But it's this connectivity between you and another person, mostly romantic. Could be family, could be friends, but for many of you, it's going to be romantic. And for many of you, it's not romantic in the sense of you love them now, or you guys are even together now. Like, this is more conceptual, the connection to romance, period, regardless of who is your partner. Does that make sense? So thematically, connection, thematically, close, intimate relationships, regardless of whether you're with someone now or not. And the point of contention here is, we want a union, or there is a union of significance, but it feels frayed in some way, or it feels very hard to maintain this union. There it is. And fray, that makes sense. So fray, like when an item of clothing, like when like the bottom of your shoe begins to get like a tiny little hole, or like the rubber on your shoe wears thin and the grip is no longer there on the bottom of your shoe, it becomes frayed. You are more likely to slip on a wet surface or a patch of ice than, you know, a fresh new pair of shoes. So however you want to think of it, but this idea of it's gone on for so long, or the temperature or the connectivity between you and this other person creates a fray, creates a friction, and so you want to be with them, or you are with them and they're with you, and you guys want this thing, but somehow the mixture of you two together causes friction. The mixture causes friction, okay? Or if you're not with anybody, again, thematically in your life, when it comes to love and romance, or when it comes to certain intimate, close relationships with family or friends, is it always smooth sailing? Here's the time, not the time, but you're noticing that because, and the reason I'm saying this is because it's right next to that strength card. And remember, I'm feeling this need to put up a fight. I'm feeling this projection of, you know, get out there and do your best, be your own inspiration, etc., etc. So there's this idea of combating what's already contentious, what's already difficult. You're having to push it out, push the strength out, put it to the front lines, your heavy guns to the front lines. I'm not a war schematic strategist. I don't know that kind of stuff, but I'm going to assume you never put the heavy guns first. I'm going to assume heavy guns go in second or third. I think that's how that shit works. I could be wrong. Don't quote me. But that's what I'm feeling, is like, I got to pull out my heavy guns. So some of you are putting up a hell of a fight to maintain a relationship. And it's hard. Even if you both want it, it's hard. So some of you are getting flack from outside sources. Some of you are being challenged by in-laws. Some of you are being challenged by friends and other family members. Society, maybe. You know, maybe your type of relationship is controversial in your little hometown or in your country where certain laws are written. And, you know, a man who's 6 feet tall cannot date a woman who is 6'5". Something like that. You know, I'm just saying something arbitrary. But in most cases where it's like a lawful thing, it would be very serious, okay? So you guys risk a lot being together. And you guys have to face a lot of adversity being together. In other cases, it's contentious and it's hard because you want them, they don't want you. Or vice versa. They want you and you sure as hell don't want them. Whatever. So there's an uphill battle that you face in terms of partnership with people, in terms of intimate connections with people. And something in your gut says, you know what, let's just leave it. But something else in your gut says, no, let's stick it out. Let's try it and make this thing work. Because right above, you have the Chariot card, Major Arcana card for Cancer. So there might be a Cancer in your life of significance, but again, you know, it doesn't have to. Now, that's the thing also. My throat got suddenly a little itchy, a little dry here. Hold on. I've talked a lot for the past 2 days, so I mean, that's good. You know, it's better to talk, in terms of tarot, it's better to talk than not talk. I apologize for the mini break. I apologize because, you know, I already talk a lot anyway, and the 20 seconds I spent drinking, it's just not for you guys, it's for me. Anyway, so the thing about the Chariot card is about decisive action, or just making a decision, period. Going left, going right. And in the traditional interpretation of this card and depiction of this card, you see a charioteer, or a driver of a chariot between two horses, or two sphinxes, a black one, a white one. And it's this idea of getting both these separate entities to work together to move towards one particular path. So that could be going on for you. You might have you know, the devil on one shoulder, the angel on one shoulder, and they're both telling you which way to go. And you're like, oh God, I can't decide. Or you're listening to your best friend and your cousin, and they're telling you what to do. And you're like, oh, you're both saying two different things, and they both make sense. They're both valid, but oh my God, that doesn't help me. So some of you are in this vexed, or have been in this vexed, unsure of whether you're coming or going, unsure of whether you're staying or leaving, unsure of whether you're going to go left or right, you know? Now, in this particular card, it's very interesting. One direction is highlighted, going forward, in this case, going forward, because that's the way that the car is oriented. It's the way the car is facing. It's the sign is not saying reverse, reverse. And also, if you think about it, also, she looks like she's packed up for a trip. You know, she's got, well, or she's been on a trip. Looks like she's been shopping. With those little shopping bags in the back of the car there. So this person, this female, has been going. And I'm saying this female only because of the card. You could be a man and experiencing this. So there's no backtracking. At least we have that. Now, whether we need a left turn or a right turn, that'll be up for you to discern. That'll be up for you to decide. But the point of this card showing up and the significance of that arrow is don't go back. However that resonates for you, Capricorn, don't go back. So, in the case of those where you have an ex and you're like, oh, but I miss them, or they're saying they miss you, don't go back. Chariot says don't do that, okay? In other ways, don't go back, meaning don't make backwards progress. So, in some cases, maybe you're with someone, you've been dating them for a while now, and you want commitment, or they want commitment, but one of the two of you says, I don't know about that. Let's just keep it casual, baby. Don't go back. Whoever has the principle, whoever has the desire to be committed, to be exclusive, to get married, and someone says, you know, do we really, I mean, come on, guys, yes, we're engaged, but, you know, maybe we could just, you know, not get married just yet. Let's just wait a while. Don't compromise on that. Now, to what degree you're not going to compromise, in what way you're going to sort of illustrate or demonstrate that you're not willing to compromise, that's your choice. But the idea is don't go backwards. Do not go back to what you were before. Do not go back on your word in some cases. Maybe that's also don't go back. Don't go back on your promises. So if you are married and someone is, because I'm not feeling it here, but sometimes the lovers can talk about choosing between two people. So there might be this idea for one or both, for one of the partners, you or whoever you're with, kind of don't go back on your vows. Don't go back on your promises. If you promise to love and hold somebody and only them, stick to it. If you don't, that's okay. That's your choice, you know, and then your path will change and the energy will change based on that choice. But there's this idea of sticking true to the commitment also for some of you. So again, don't go back however it resonates. If it's not relationship, if it's something else, you will understand. The other thing that they're drawing me to is how the arrow is pointing to the Seven of Wands, and how we talked about the Seven of Wands being in reverse, and that's that lack of fight. That's that turning down of combative energy or willingness to defend a position, to defend. And so I think it's trying to highlight that for those that are kind of succumbing to or letting go of certain principles, certain aspects of integrity, or certain aspects of, you know, simply what you will or will not tolerate in a relationship. Okay? Don't drop that ball. Don't drop that stipulation. Okay? Fight the good fight. Continue to fight the good fight. It's hard. It's difficult. I'm not gonna say that it's not, but you should do that. Okay? Now, what's going on over here? Ooh, hello. You've been coming up a lot. Are we going there first? No. Ooh, look at that. That's like, they rarely say that. No. Okay, so we're going to talk about the page last. But, so next you have the Three of Wands. So, Three of Wands is basically sort of what I was just telling you. You know, it's this anticipation and this expectation. You know, what you put out, you know, to the world, or what you put out there on the sea, on the ocean. You see that boat out there in the water, so far away from her position. that is a boat that she sent out. That is the boat that she has a vested interest in. And the boat is obviously a metaphor for your intentions, for plans, for wishes, hopes, and dreams, okay? Whatever you've been working up to, whatever you've been cultivating for your life, and you kind of put it out there to the universe, or you start to take practical steps towards something, you start to make connections with people in business because you're trying to become an entrepreneur, whatever you're doing, there's the anticipation and the expectation that something's going to pan out. And it's kind of also based on hoping, but because it's wands, it usually takes physical manifestations, right? So in line with the Chariot and the Seven of Wands in reverse, it's, I think, encouraging you to stay optimistic, okay? Even in the face of adversity, even in the face of short-term pitfalls or short-term losses or setbacks, if things are not going well for you in your relationship, you've hit a rough patch, and part of you says, you know what, I gotta throw it away. But something inside of you says, but I don't really want that. I want to work it out. Then stick to that. Expect it's going to work out. Put in, obviously, like I said, you're the one who sends the ship out. So make sure you put in the effort. Don't just pray on it. You know, I can't stand people. Just pray on it. I'm going to pray on it for you. Okay, well, what else are you going to do? Maybe some of you are having that reaction to somebody telling you, oh, well, I'm going to pray on it for you. I'm going to pray on it for you. Okay, but I don't need prayer. I need actual action. Because that's the thing about the wands. Actual action. Let's take some steps forward. So some of you need to, in your own lives, or you need from other people, you know, put up or shut up. You know, if you're going to talk the talk, you better walk the walk. So either that's something you need to do, or that's something that you require of other people around you. And for the most part, I feel it can happen, especially on your part, Capricorn. If you have decided in your mind that you want something, you damn well usually can get it. All right. You have a lot of fortitude when it comes to that. You know, you're hard workers, be in all aspects, not just in your workplace, not just in your 9-to-5 day to day. Okay. You guys put in work to get the results that you desire. It's part of your makeup. You can't help yourselves. Okay. But that does not mean it's always smooth sailing. It doesn't mean that the first time you try something, it works out in your favor. A lot of times you'll have to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and try again. And so because you have that natural tenacity, because you have that natural fight in you, which is mirrored here with the corners, right? The fight that we talked about with the Strength card. Okay, these two are talking to each other. Because that comes to you naturally, it doesn't make it easier. It doesn't make it any easier. Okay? Now, the challenge here, interestingly enough, one of the biggest challenges, not the only challenge, but one of the biggest challenges you have is this guy. This girl, this guy, whatever. All characters in this deck, the Vanessa deck, are females, but the page typically is, whatever, it doesn't matter. There's no gender here. Page of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So whoever this is might be a fire sign, but they don't have to be. But number one, Page of Wands has been coming up a lot for different signs, and almost every time he's come up, or she's come up, whoever, I've associated with a child. And that is true here. So some of you are being challenged by a child. Age, regardless, it's really about the relationship between you and them. They are your child. They are a child in your life, a child of your partner, a child of your sisters who's a challenge to you, whoever. There's somebody's dependent, basically. And the challenge is twofold. This kid, precocious. This kid knows much more about the situation than they might let on, and basically can read a room, and is kind of manipulative in some cases. If not manipulative, definitely knows which buttons to push on you, on somebody else, it doesn't matter, and has their own agenda. Now I'm saying this kid. And if you're sitting with a 4-year-old, there's only so much power a 4-year-old can have. But so open your mind. If it's not a child, a baby, it could be a child like a teenager or an adult child who is manipulative or able to push buttons and able to kind of, you know, persuade. Like, I feel like there's this active persuasion on this child's part to affect your life, to affect your wishes and your whims. Does that make sense? So maybe going back to that initial thing that I talked about with the fitness and scrolling through Instagram, looking at fitness models and stuff. Maybe you have a personal goal, Capricorn, to lose weight or to get in shape. And your kid, not assuming it's like a kid to give you guys just an example. They might, poke your belly and do like the little Pillsbury, woo-hoo, they might do that as a joke, as just like a little whippersnapper, smartass thing to do. Or they might, say, "Oh, Daddy, look at your, look at your arms. They're so flabby." They might be, coming out of seeing Endgame with you, and you're like, "Daddy, how come you don't have arms like Chris Hemsworth?" And you're like, "What? Excuse me? What? First of all, why do you care? You're 6, and secondly, that hurts Daddy's feelings." Something like that. And whether they intend it or not, for those that are older, they might intend it. But the ability to get under your skin is uncanny with this person. Okay? Page of Wands has been causing trouble in different readings. I'm not trying to correlate you with anybody else, but I'm just like speaking to the energy that's going around right now, whether they're associated with fire sign people or not. The energy of the Page of Wands right now has been very, very mischievous, has been very, very calculating and very, very savvy and snarky and just like divisive, okay? And aligning this again with your corner, this kid might take the fight out of you. This kid might sap your inspiration. Because again, the 7 is about, I'm going to stand my ground. I'm going to work hard for this. I'm going to push through. I'm going to conquer this situation. And then some of you are getting like undercut or somehow thrown off guard by your kid or a child or someone who is young and spunky and all that kind of stuff. Like, they have a young energy. This could be an adult. This could be like your partner, some of you. They could be the one poking your belly and calling you the Pillsbury Doughboy. And you're like, I definitely now don't want to have sex tonight now that you've done that to me, and they don't mean anything by it sometimes, or they just pass it off as a joke, blah, 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 but it like really cuts you deep, the actions of this Page of Wands, okay? And it takes the fight out of you. So there's a combativeness and a matching combativeness. Matching? No. There's a link. Thank you. A linking to the combative nature of that Page of Wands. Whether it's playful or not, whether it's conscious or not, you're just like, son of a bitch. Here we go again with the Pillsbury Doughboy thing. Or here we go again with the, why don't you clean yourself up sometimes? Some of you are getting like criticisms from this person, Anything else with the Page of Wands? Because I'm not a fan and I'm tired of talking about him. I've talked about him so much in these readings. Jesus. No. Okay, thank you. Outcome for May. 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups. 10 of Coins. Yeah, it was 10 of Cups. Thank you. I read that right. 10 of Cups in reverse. I'll show you this up right. So, quickly, right off the bat, somebody is not having wish fulfillment. Somebody's not having their dreams come true, excuse me. So, for those hoping for a happy home, for those hoping for some type of resolution to their home life, and it's not to say that's the end-all be-all, because this is really temporary, right? The month of May, thereabouts, maybe pushing a little bit into June, so that might change. So don't view this as some fatalistic, finalistic kind of energy of, well, I guess we're headed to divorce court. No, not necessarily. Or, well, I guess me and the kid, like, based on this Pillsbury Doughboy thing, you and your family are not going to, like, have, separate holidays or anything like that. I'm not sensing that. But there is, like, this disappointment, okay? A continued or a newfound energy of lackluster, sullen, dejected or rejected in terms of your emotions, okay? Like, you see how in the upright there's like a nice family looking out, kind of celebrating New Year's, it looks like. So a lack of celebration, lack of things to feel superly? No. Super enthusiastic about. Okay, there's a lack of feel-good feelings, basically. And of course, very potent or very significant for somebody in a family dynamic. Now, if you're solo dolo, single pringle, Capricorn, which I think I started up, which is kind of where we started in the reading, because I felt that was a singular energy, not necessarily speaking only to single people with the Strength card, but the focus was on the self in the beginning. And I think we need to pull it back to the self, because here, and a little bit here, you are thinking of other people a lot, Capricorn. Ah, there we go. A nice little adage, a nice little cliche that my mom, or not that my mom, but it's a lesson that I learned through my mother. And it's a thing that I carry with myself. And I believe it, even if it seems harsh, even if it seems self-centered. But in life, Capricorn, in terms of happiness, in terms of support and contentment and shared effusive experiences, if you yourself are not happy, you cannot truly make anybody else happy. You have to prioritize yourself. You have to love yourself. You have to bring yourself joy. And you have to, in the moments where things seem to be at their worst, be able to rely on yourself and like I was sort of talking about there with the Strength card, pull yourself up, dust yourself off. You know, so there's this idea here within this outcome that you're going to feel this in context in your of relationship with other people. And you're going to think, oh man, they're not making me happy, or I'm not making them happy. And the root of the thing is, are you making yourself happy? There we go. Are you making yourself happy, Capricorn? Because again, what we talked about here, definitely what we talked about between these two together, is needing to be assured and confident and strong within yourself, which involves loving the self. It's an easy thing to say. It's a 4-letter word. It's it's like so easy to express. Love yourself, take care of yourself, blah, 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 blah. But everybody's journey is different, and everybody's definition of what loving the self means is going to be different. You know? But in context of what you're focused on, which is your family relationship, your relationship with your spouse, your relationship specifically with your child, the Page of Wands, your emphasis is on, are they happy? Are they contented? Are we contented as a unit? Forget all that. Are you happy? Are you contented? Are you balanced? Are you stable? Are you healed? Whatever. Answer. And most people usually can't answer them all with a resounding, oh yes, I'm fine. Or yes, I'm happy. Yes, I'm stable. Yes, I'm secure. Yes, I'm safe. Yes, I'm this. Yes. Like, truly, can you answer all of that with yes? All right, that is the challenge here. Your overall for the month of May, 9 of Wands. So this card is traditionally in the Rider-Waite deck associated with this concept of the wounded warrior. And I don't think that is missing here. You guys have been beat the hell up. You guys have been tried. You guys are pushing and pushing. You're being pushed. You're being really put through your paces, and really, it's just hard. And like I've mentioned before, there is this consideration of, should I just throw it all away? Should I just throw in the towel here? This card would indicate that you should not do that. That you have some fire left in you. I mean, look at this card. Look how orange and sunburst it is. Like, talk about inspiration. Talk about enthusiasm. Talk about the willingness to just keep fighting another day. You know, unlike the wounded warrior in the traditional Rider-Waite, which a lot of you might be familiar with, the image of it, this person, this woman does not look daunted. She doesn't look hurt. She looks very much in control. Like, oh yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. So the preparation is here. The effort is here. Why did I turn it around like that? Anyway. I'm also getting like a witch vibe. Not like a witch like a bad woman, but witch as in like almost like Wiccan, like practices. Like I am practiced in the realms of the metaphysical. So some of you might be in counsel with someone who's kind of witchy, or there's aspects of witchcraft, paganism, Wiccan, even just tarot, something like that, where like you're opening your mind to this, or you're opening up to the effectiveness that might have in your life, something like that. Like I'm getting for very few of you, like a spell, like spell casting. Be careful with that stuff. And how that might be the next phase in your actions, or that might be a new element that you add to your defenses. There we go. For those who might be under attack, you know, I don't speak of this often, but it is a concept I have a slight familiarity with, is psychic attacks or spiritual attacks. Some, you know, people in energies kind of influencing you or coming to disturb your life on a subconscious level. And you might be in counsel with somebody who is a white witch, so to speak, a white witch, who can help you combat those negative, subversive energies, right? That's kind of there for like, whoop, like that many of you, like one or two of you, okay? Capricorn, that is your reading for May. We did it. Oh, I'm going to have such a nice long break now. Oh my gosh. Anyway, Capricorn, if you liked your reading, please hit the like button. If you want to comment below, let me know how this resonates in your life. I would love to read it. Also, please feel free to share this video across your social media platforms. It keeps me and the channel going. It allows me to continue to grow an audience, which I am absolutely loving. The response over the past month or two has been phenomenal. And also please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. If you keep coming back but you don't hit that button, I don't have commitment issues. I want to be committed with you, Capricorn. So let's do this thing. You hit the button and the notification bell, and I keep churning these videos out for you guys. It's that simple. It's going to be the most simple, non-demanding relationship in your life, okay? Capricorn, I thank you so much for watching this video. Take care. Bye.